In this tutorial, I'm going to be creating our faux gathered meadow arrangement, and I'm using our Orwell small vase for this. This also looks beautiful in the Norton vase as well as the laburnum. I think I photographed it in all of those on the website if you need to see. So we're going to be starting with foliage first. We've got 2 stems of populus and 1 stem of the olive branch. The olive is huge, but I just feel like the leaves really complement each other in this. And because this one's kind of gathered meadow, it's a bit more kind of wild, free, very airy and light, and this is quite like a romantic-y stem for that, so I wanted to mix these 2 together. So you're going to start by bending down our populus to the right kind of height and going down to about there, so that that leaf really kind of starts connecting with the vase and there's no gaps with it. One of the biggest things I always see, you guys send me so many photos of your arrangements and say, oh, it doesn't look right, it doesn't look like yours does on the website. The biggest thing is often that you don't bend your stems enough, because I get it, it's a bit scary, you know, it just feels, well, just bend it a little bit and make sure that that feels okay. But actually just have the confidence, be brave. And if it's too low, then guess what? You can just unbend it and retry it. So yeah, it just keeps everything in proportion. As a very general rule of thumb, you want your arrangement to be about 1.5 times the size of your vase, if that helps. Okay, so with the olive branch, this is a really huge stem. I'm going to practically be bending this to here. So really bringing it down, because we don't really want to go any higher than this, because can you see if I start going like this, it's suddenly everything just looks a bit out of proportion and almost like the foliage is trying too hard. So we're just going to really bring it down, like I said, right, almost so that you've got no stem, which is fine. And then what you can do is bend that branch back on itself again, just so that you're not getting the view of kind of the bent stem in the arrangement. And then I'm just going to pop that through like kind of the centre, so that those stems just kind of flop out quite nicely. So next up, we're going to be popping in our lilac branches. We've got 2 of these. We're doing these next, as these are our biggest blooms in the arrangement, and we want to make sure that they've got enough space and we're happy with the shape and the formation. So I'm going to have 1 higher up over here and 1 much lower down over this side, because we don't want to be creating any lines or any kind of just formality. You want this to feel as free, natural, loose as possible. And you can bend out all of the branches on this until you're happy with the kind of shape, like that. And this one much lower down. Again, don't be afraid to bend these. Round about there. So we've got those 2 in there. And then next up, I'm going to be popping in the white, I was going to say hydrangea then, ranunculus sprays. These have just got a mass of kind of these almost paper thin petals, which is exactly as they are. And then you've got like a smaller flower and then a bud, which I really like to kind of bend out and kind of nestle into all of the foliage. Again, it helps create that kind of freeing look. And again, we're not going for the same heights, and we're just looking for a gap basically within the foliage. Somewhere around there. And I'm just kind of bending the branch of that ranunculus towards the front a little bit, almost towards me, and then bending the buds out to the other side, so that if I was to stand here, for example, I'm actually getting the view of a full bloom on this side, but for you, you're getting the view of a full bloom on your side, and so forth, so that you're creating this kind of really 3-dimensional arrangement that feels alive. And then having 1 right down the bottom here, kind of coming out to the side. Again, just tweaking those side branches out. And can you see how this just feels much more kind of light and airy and natural now? And then finally, we're just going to add in the white wax flower, and this is just going to add a really nice, delicate touch, and again, kind of really go with that whimsical look that we are trying to achieve. So just bending down this one a couple of inches, having it through the back, just to create that kind of wildness, and then the other one lower down towards the front, over there, like so. So something like that, and then I'm just going to come round and make sure that I'm really happy with the formation and shape and everything, placement, which I am. All these final little tweaks where, you know, I'm just kind of curving this branch so that it just hangs really naturally and nicely. And this one here is looking a bit straight. You might not be able to see from your angle, but just by simply using the wire that you've got, all those little things make the biggest difference. So yeah, that is the gathered meadow arrangement. I hope you enjoy watching, and I hope you enjoy arranging, and I'd love to see it in your homes. Thanks for watching.